What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here with Darth Sidious. You may know him from a few different Star Wars episodes for any of you Star Wars folks out there. And don't give me this nonsense like, oh, Star Trek's better. You can go fuck yourself. It's Star Wars or bust. Darth Sidious, it's great to have you on. Great to talk some player props with you this week. Great to be back. Off of
Joke's on you, JJ. It's only Holden. It is not Darth Sidious.
Damn it. I really thought we were.
Joke's on you.
I really thought we were getting somewhere there. Damn it. Anywho, you guys should have seen it before the show. I guess this is now Holden was talking a whole different language. Had me really thinking it was Darth Sidious.
Yeah, well, listen,
you just never
can always come back from the dead too. And thank you for that comment. I just don't know anyone that likes Star Trek because it's really not a thing anymore, is it?
Yeah, I mean, Shatner obviously is still beloved, but outside of that, I mean, what else is Star Trek? I mean, who's actually watching Star Trek these days?
No one does none of the youngsters know Star Trek. None of the youngsters. Like Titletown on the DFS side, no idea who William Shatner is nor Star Trek, I bet you. He didn't know Schwarzenegger.
He didn't know who Schwarzenegger was?
No.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I have some of those guys that are bad too.
Yeah.
And I should know that I didn't and found out that I didn't. But yeah, I mean, how do you not know Schwarzenegger?
Come on. California.
Good to have you back, Holden. The hair looks a little screwed up tonight, but we'll deal with it.
It's a wreck, bro.
We'll deal with it.
It's been a long one today. It's been a good one. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend, dude.
Yeah, same here. What's up, Nate, Jacob, Matty Ice?
Yeah. 6 games. 6
games.
I mean,
Super Wildcard weekend was fun last year when they did it, right? Last year was the first time they did Super, and then now we're doing it again.
We had blowouts from those 7 seeds.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a shame. Hopefully, I mean, I say hopefully not the same, but then again, I'd almost prefer because at least it guarantees we get Cincinnati in, we get Buffalo in another round. I mean, I don't want to see one of these big guys go down. I mean, that'd be silly, like a fluke loss for Buffalo or a fluke loss for Baltimore, because then it makes the next round even shittier. But needless to say, obviously with how it ended out, and any thoughts on how the season ended out as far as the playoff standings and such?
Just Brandon Staley's a complete jackass. I don't know how many shows. This is my 4th show I've done today. I think every single, this will be 4 for 4. He's an idiot. The guy, why are you playing your starters in the 4th quarter after you clinch the 5 seed? Why are you playing them at all? Why are you playing them more than a half? Bosa got hurt the first half. He came back and he played, but he got hurt. Mike Williams, extremely important, stretch the field. He's hurt. He's got back spasms. He's got a bruised back. I just don't know what this guy is doing, man. I don't understand his thought process. I get it. I'm glad that he's bringing the numbers equation into the NFL. More that needs to happen, but this guy is not executing things. He does dumb things.
The one thing I will say in relation to Staley that I don't know if enough people are talking about it or not, that I kind of respect. It does seem like no matter what he game plans before a game, he sticks with that game plan. There is no change in his mind. If it's 4th and 3rd or less from the 45 and beyond, he's going. If he's going to play his starters in a game, he shouldn't for three entire quarters before they sit. He doesn't care who gets hurt en route to that happening. He's going to keep doing it. But yeah, I mean, complete boneheaded decision, and that's the short of it, right? I think that all these coaches deal with it in their own way, but the problem is, of course, when these guys get hurt, inevitably it happens. You got to give it a reason for it. I didn't see his post press conference. What did he say? He had to be asked, right? I mean,
I'm just gonna paraphrase it. Basically, we just went with it. That was just our plan coming in. And other people are going to have their opinions on it. It just doesn't make sense. Anyways, a couple of his calls actually went his way. So I'm wondering if everything's starting to even out with him. Remember, like his first 30 calls, he just couldn't get anything right. But in a close game, playoffs, I'm going to dock his team because he's the head coach, especially in a close late situation. I don't trust him.
I can't argue, and look, it's a fun game to talk about. How do you want to do it, Holden? Do you want to do what we normally do? We just talk on props, or just briefly touch on each game?
I mean, we could talk on each game. There's a couple I got no real opinion on, but I'm sure I'll figure something else out to say. Like the San Francisco-Seattle game. This was a prop that I wanted to talk out with you. But first, do you have anything in this game?
Yeah, probably my favorite player prop of the weekend. And I say that now because right now it's my favorite player prop. Look, Steam can come in either direction on these bets. Could open up something that I like even more. I'm not going to like chase Steam. And look, if you're going to bet player props, it's like every other week in the NFL. Bet them early. These books are posting them early. They already posted them like a day or two ago. Get your bets in that you like early. You don't have to bet a lot of them, but if you're waiting and you're going to let numbers get worse, and then you know you're going to inevitably bet the game or games anyway, get your bets in. But for me, my favorite player prop of the weekend, Geno Smith, over 227.5 passing yards. Look, we just saw David Blau throw for like 190 yards in the first half, or basically 2.5 quarters before he got hurt against the Niners. The week before that, Jarrett Stidham threw for nearly 400. Then the week before that, both, was it backups of the Cardinals? Or Cardinals was Blau.
McSorley.
It was no, the week before that, it was somebody got hurt. All I know is it was two quarterbacks that threw for like over 150 each or 140 each. And again, two bad quarterbacks. I guess I could look it up to find exacts.
I think this is getting reverse steam, dude. It's down to 225.5.
On which book?
Points bet.
Okay, so I don't know because DK had 227.
Okay.
I don't really fire points bet. It's not ideal for me. I don't want to say I don't want to pull the limited card, but I have limited options at points bet. But DK FanDuel still give me kind of free reign.
Really?
To a certain extent. I don't want to say free reign, but I flat bet everything, so they don't nab me there. But points bet's not super ideal for me. But I could say, I mean, look, I can't mind it, and I guess in theory it could get steamed down. To me, Geno hasn't looked like Geno. Everybody's saying it. I get it. It was it was the good call, Jacob. It was the Redskins or Commanders. It was Wentz and Heineke combined, I think, for like another 270. I just look at it when you talk about game script, when you talk about this 49ers pass defense, it's been I don't want to say exposed, but there's potential against it through the air. They're going to likely have a lot of third and longs. They're likely going to be in a trail script. We know Geno, at least he's going to have Lockett and Metcalf. To me, it's a soft number. I know Geno hasn't looked himself, but all things considered, I love the spot. And to me, honestly, the only ways he probably doesn't at least approach this number is if it's a complete blowout, which I don't think it's going to be a complete blowout. And also unless Geno gets hurt, right? So overall, I think it's a really soft number, especially with what we've seen from San Francisco. And look, you can play the card of, maybe San Francisco's defense now comes to life because it's the playoffs. Now they have something to really play for. But man, it's been a lot of easy pass and catch against this defense. What's been really good for San Francisco has been their offense recently, but defensively, I think the way Seattle can attack this team is through the air, and I think they're going to know that. And I think Geno takes quite a few shots, and 227 is a relatively low number, especially with the season he's had, despite his downsurge towards the end. 225
at PointsBet and 230 at BetMGM. So it's all over the place. It's all over the place right now. A prop that I really wanted to bet that I don't think I can do it anymore just because a whole bunch of smart people must have hit it really, really fast. Elijah Mitchell, his prop was 35.5, dude. And I wonder if 38.5 is too much for him. He's had more rushing yards than McCaffrey in all 3 full games they played together, JJ. He's had more carries in 2 of 3. We saw that they liked running him last week. He was very effective in the red zone too. I like Elijah Mitchell. I think Elijah Mitchell is a really good running back, and I'd be fine with him as my RB1. But 38.5 Elijah Mitchell rushing yards. What's going on here? What's wrong
with what?
With the bet?
Are you saying with that bet? No, yeah. I can't hit it. I mean, obviously there's some potential variance there with how much they decide to use McCaffrey or how much they decide to split Mitchell. But to me, if you believe he's going to get 10 carries, extremely doable.
Yeah, I do think he gets 10 carries. I'm going to have to sit on that, though. 38.5. I mean, that's 6 yards from the opening number. That's a little bit. So we got to that game. The next game is the Sunday night game. Or the Saturday night game, I should say. Austin Eckler, okay? So I ran this by you earlier in the week. I, too, really enjoy these kind of manipulated same-game parlays, JJ. Mm-hmm. The Jags take him up to plus 10.5. Take the game under 57.5. It's 47.5. Give yourself as big a cushion as possible because I wanted to bet an Austin Eckler touchdown. I think it was minus 155, maybe 165 at the time. And I already wanted to build a little same game parlay with this game. So you got Austin Eckler, who's just finding the end zone left and right. 4 of 5. He's got 6 touchdowns in the last 5 games. He's getting all the goal line carries, 21 attempts inside the 10. So that's kind of big. And then during the regular season, he said, guys, I kind of need some time off. I can't be running the ball 30 times a game. Well, I think they run his ass a whole bunch in this game too. I see Eckler getting in the box this week, leading the NFL in touchdowns. So Eckler touchdown, Jags plus 10, under 57.5 plus 205. I don't love going 3 on those same games, but I really like both bets. So why not?
Yeah, a little reverse correlation too, so that should help the odds. I will say I like Jacksonville in this spot. I know
Me
that
too.
at the number anyway. I mean, look, I get it. The Chargers have as much upside as anybody, but the way Jacksonville made the playoffs to go on the run they did, Lawrence is playing as good as he's been since he's obviously been drafted, which I guess isn't saying too much because the Urban Meyer days and whatnot. But it's Peterson. It's a Super Bowl coach. They're in the postseason. It's a young team, but they got a lot of confidence. They're going to be home. Yeah, and the other question is, do you trust Staley, right? I do like your call on Eckler, though. The guy just seems to always find the box, whether it's through the air or on the ground. They give him a tremendous amount of opportunity down there, too. Because that was the problem last year, right? Like, it just felt like they never gave him the opportunities, inside the 5 or whatnot. But this year hasn't been the case. So I like that. And, however you want to pair it to get that number down, I mean, of course, feel free. But, yeah, I think Jacksonville, in theory, should hang around most of the game. And if it's close late, I mean, give me Peterson in a close game late over Staley.
They're my favorite teaser this week, the Jags. 2.5 to 8.5.
It pushed to 2. I'd assume you look at all the games, right? I mean, what teaser, could you in theory like more? I mean, I guess I could see people teasing Buffalo down to 6.5. Maybe you tease the Giants up to 10. Maybe Cincinnati down to 3.5, or if you do it 7, it's 2.5. Yeah, I mean, I can't, like I said, I can't mind it. And Eckler, regardless of whether Jacksonville wins this game or not, Eckler's going to have his opportunities to fall in the box.
All right, let's get to your next bet.
So so the first game I'm skipping. I'm skipping because right now I just don't have anything I love for this game. There's also some question marks around who's actually playing quarterback. Is it going to be Teddy Bridgewater, or is it going to be? Has that been announced yet?
Skylar Thompson.
It's going to be. Thompson. Okay, so. I mean, it's like it feels like just a pure gift for Buffalo. And by the way, they were also gifted. Well, I don't want to say gifted, but kind of gifted this matchup with the way the NFL decided to handle the ending of the Cincinnati Buffalo game. Because in theory, this very well could have been Cincinnati playing Miami, but it's not like Cincinnati did bad either, getting the Ravens with their backup quarterback. But yeah, so for me, I'm skipping that game because there's nothing I like in it yet. I'm sure I'll find something as we get closer to game time, but nothing now. So we'll go to Minnesota Giants. Look. I paired the Vikings money line earlier in the week with Georgia money line, so it was plus 104. I think that's what I got. So yeah, that's my best look for the game. Obviously now it's you play minus 160 with Minnesota, so that's not ideal. I think if you're going to bet this game though, I think you got to take the Giants up to 9.5, tease them, do something in that fashion because while Minnesota wanted a blowout last week, I mean that was against Nate Peterman. Like they're not playing him this week, so. The Minnesota all year has been a team. If they get a double-digit lead, they give it away. If they start double digits, they'll come back. But yeah, I think as far as teasers go, I get the idea of Jacksonville being a big tease option this week. I think the Giants are a good tease option too, even though it's 3-9. If it's 6 point, I still like it. It's 2 possessions. Minnesota just doesn't win a lot of games by 2 possessions. So yeah, call it teasing the Giants. One of my better looks. Of the weekend, especially if you didn't get anything you liked in pre on Minnesota. Is there anything you like in that game, Holden?
A lot. Jacksonville Giants teaser. I know you're not supposed to go to the 9, but I'm right there with you. I actually like the Giants plus 3 again. I don't think it might be quite the shootout that we had in that last game. Where, by the way, thank God Daniel Jones saving us here. They covered that game at I think it was 3.5. Giants are rested. We know that. So they're coming off. Your boy Kirk Cousins, do you want to take his 4 o'clock window here, the out of the 1 o'clock window? Or seriously, are you handicapping it, using that as to handicap?
So yeah, it's not perfect him playing at 4, but I don't look at it like that
Yeah.
big of a deal in this spot.
And I don't think this team, the Giants team, is going to have any problem scoring, keeping up if they can't stop Justin Jefferson, who, by the way, had 193. You know what? I wonder if they come out maybe like the Packers did and just rough him up a little bit. They said they were going to touch Jefferson every play. I wonder if they'll come out and do that or not. I don't know. But I do think the Giants actually have a good shot just to win outright. So I'll take the 3 points on that one. We'll do the teasers with them. And then the player prop is Saquon. 3.5 catches. Don't love the juice, minus 130. I'm going to take it though, JJ. Okay. This guy, so many opportunities against the Vikings to catch passes. Again, Giants were playing catch up in that first game, but I still think they're going to use him in the air no matter what. He's hit this number 6 and 9 on the road, and it's a spot where I just think Daniel Jones is going to check down to him, even if it's a neutral game script. So that's what I'm looking at, JJ. Saquon over 3.5 catches.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I can't argue that, and it makes sense, right? Especially if they're just going to look to continue to move the offense. But I will say this: Daniel Jones. I don't know if it's the Richie James effect or if it's the Hodgins effect. He's been pushing the ball downfield more. I mean, we know Slayton's been decent for them, but he has been pushing the ball downfield. Should be a fun game. Arguably, maybe one of the best games of the weekend. But either way, yeah, I think there's many ways you can skin it. I think you either bet Minnesota money line, or you tease up the Giants. I just can't see. I don't want to lay 3 with Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm right there with the Giants. And the best part about Daniel Jones is he is stretching the field with Hodgins and once in a while Slayton and James, but he's also checking down. So he's all over the place, man. You know what? Hodgins has been really good lately. I should probably look at some Richie James props. I didn't even look into him. You got another good bet? Because I got to tell you, it's basically those are my bets. Saquon, the Giants, the same game parlay. I might have one more to throw out there too.
Yeah, I mean, look, Riddle. So in the Cincinnati game, I don't have anything I like there. It's an easy pass for me. I do think, though, I don't have the number in front of me, but based on these money line odds, I feel pretty good to say that you can probably bet. Obviously, if you're looking to get just like silly with parlays and whatnot, you can probably bet San Fran, Cincinnati, and Buffalo all minus 2.5. And that should land you around minus 120, minus 115, minus 120. Should. So look, if you're one who believes there's very likely those 3 games are not scares, you can do that. The Cincinnati game, it's not a game I'm going to touch, or likely game I'm not going to touch. The Ravens have been terrible all year without Lamar.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati's got a hell of a lot to play for, especially since.
You know what they're averaging in these 5 games without Lamar? These last 5 games, 13 points per game, dude.
Yeah,
that's not good. I was looking into the Dobbins under rush. I just couldn't pull a trigger on that one.
It's been brutal. But I will say this: the last game, but not least, on Monday night, Brady against the Cowboys. And I'll say this: like, I know I'm a Brady simp, and sure, I do love me some Tom, but in reality, I'm still a numbers guy. This line's wrong. Dallas should be a bigger favorite here. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's going to be my biggest bet of the weekend is Dallas. I bet him 3, bet him again at 2.5. Look, they could lose this game, but to me, I look at it like this, Holden. If both teams play their best game, Dallas wins by 7. Both teams play their worst game, Dallas wins by 7. If both teams play an average game, Dallas wins by 7. I just can't get the worst version of Dak to me. As long as I don't get like the absolute woke level of Dak, which is possible. So I'm going to be clear, it's possible. I think that Dallas, just from a talent perspective, the whole bit, I think Dallas, I don't say rolls, but way more talented than Tampa.
Minus 180 for an interception for Dak Prescott.
I mean, think about that.
Yeah. I tried. It's like the first thing I looked at in this game, and then I said, I can't believe it opened at minus 180. That's ridiculous. There was something else from that game too. That was kind of interesting, but screw it. I can't remember, so we could just move on. So best bet, your bestest bet is the Geno Smith bet?
Yeah, the Geno Smith pass prop and my favorite NFL bet of the weekend is
Okay.
Dallas. And just real quick, Hodgins. Yeah, you guys are right. Robert and Kev. Hodgins has been awesome. I mean, you want to bet his props over. He's been, the targets have been there. He's also got like one of the highest catch rates out of the targets as well for all the Giants pass catchers. There's clearly some synergy there with Jones and Hodgins. Really kind of came on late. Don't mind that look at all. Whether it's a touchdown over his props, whatever it is, it's a good look.
What do we got here? Where's our T.Y. Hilton prop? They're not even offering T.Y. Hilton props this week, are they? Oh, that sucks. Would have been nice. All we needed was one catch again, buddy. We'd have been fine there. What do you think of Fournette this week? 35.5 rushing yards. Oof. Tough defense, but they're going to feed him, I think, even with that bad foot.
So he can get there for sure. Obviously, there's what's his name in the mix too, right? White. But
how much is White going to touch it? I don't know.
But for me, I just think Tampa showed some success with having Brady throw the ball 50 times down the stretch of the year. I just think you're likely going to see more of that. But if the script plays out like I think it is too, it's likely going to be a trail script for Tampa, which means it's going to be a lot of dump offs anyway. But no, it's a low number. So again, it's another situation to me, Holden, where if you think he gets 10 carries, it's very doable.
Yeah.
It's really right. To me, you're more handicapping the amount of touches you think he gets versus the yards.
You might as well bet the carries.
Yeah.
If you can find a better number there. Okay. Yeah, my best bet's just gonna be the Giants +3. Absolutely love them again. And we'll see. Even if they fall down, I might live bet this thing because the Vikings defense is so bad.
Yeah, if at any point the Giants become +10, if you didn't bet the teaser free,
boom.
To me, I think you can safely at least bet a unit on it because again, Minnesota just let so many teams back into games this year.
It's always uncomfortable. Nice hat.
Thank you.
I can't see your head; it's camouflaged, but it is a nice hat.
It's there's nothing. I mean, I'm working on the U haircut.
This lettuce is getting picked off tomorrow, dude. I'm done with it.
You doing a high fade? You doing the see how you do the fade, like the side fade? You doing that?
Yeah, but you have lines, right? Like you have a weight line there, or is it blended? Let's see it.
They're blended.
It's blended. Okay. No, it looks stupid. It's not something that not something I'm interested in, JJ.
So what? Before we go, what's on tap for you this weekend? You just kind of chilling at home watching the game?
Yeah, I mean, Saturday I got the kids, so I'm going to miss half of the Seattle game, but I'll watch the night game, which is my favorite. Jacksonville Chargers, my second, maybe my favorite's Vikings and Giants. And Sunday I'll just sit at home, and we're doing a pregame show again, the Final Countdown, dude.
Oh, we're doing it Sunday? Okay, cool.
All right, if you want to hop on, great.
Oh, I'll be.
I just set a record for dudes. I never say dude.
I'll be available. So I'll join. I'll
cool.
Pop in. All right. Go. So yeah, as you guys know, so for me, Geno over his pass prop. Holden was the Giants, and
so we got the Giants +3. We got Saquon over 3.5 catches.
3.5 catches. Cool. So folks, as always, thanks for hanging out in the chat. Thanks for obviously watching as well. Gamble responsibly. Do realize it is one weekend of football. I know it's condensed games. I know you want to bet multiple bets in every game. I know we all want to sweat multiple things, and we want to create the same sweat we get when there's 15 games. But it's 1 week. Gamble responsibly. Stay within your means. As always, stay safe. And yes, run pure. Will we see them next week? Similar show? Hold it.
20 units every bet this week.
Great answer. Great.
If you want to do a show next week, I'm totally down to do a show next week. I would love to. And you know what? We'll get a special guest on.
Hey, perfect. There it is. It's happening. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the games.
20 units.